And also, we need a more definitive answer than if the other two want him, because that doesn't really matter.
I
Okay,
want
and also
to.
I'm gonna add
I want
Bert.
to wrap this up.
He doesn't have to sit in here.
No, I'm just gonna add Bert and just say, hey, we're going to go on with this session. If you wish to refute or just listen in, we totally be fine.
I vote
Okay.
that you don't send this message. Okay, never
It's already
mind.
out. Yeah.
Too
Did you
late.
actively hear her typing? Like you're.
At any point, you could have stopped this. You did not. Well, it was already too
Let's
late.
not send a message. He's part of the fucking party.
Yeah,
I don't
he
know.
needs
I
a
feel
say
like
in this.
He
Relax.
needs to at least know what we're doing.
Someone here needs to say they will have notes for this.
Okay.
Oh,
I
you
guess
sit
he's
here
just
and
gonna
listen.
sit in here.
All right. Let's continue on the session. I'm very
It-
sorry that I had to drag you from your sleep.
You can fall asleep and we won't need notice.
Yeah,
Stay
I'll make
muted.
sure to record the session and have you listen to it. We'll
Yeah.
force it. We'll force you to listen.
Don't feel bad if you fall asleep. That's what I meant by that. That sounded weird. Anyways, yeah, so we're gonna continue session. And yeah, so after a couple hours, last we left off, Bert and Marvoth escaped the off-world complex, as I guess I'm calling it now, the half prison for people from outer, or not outer, other planes than the commissary deals with. It got infested by many. I wouldn't say mini Marcy's, just Marcy tiers. What is non-mini Marcy
Okay,
evolved?
there's mini menace. I literally do not know about the baby menace. You're the one who came up with that baby
Yeah.
menace. And then there's mini menace, which is the tiniest, like smallest ones. Ants. They're like little collectibles.
Okay.
They just like walk around. They usually don't are docile, but I guess their docileness creates panic. And then it turns into, let's see,
Like
baby
Furbies.
menace. Baby, they're just baby. They still don't know how to speak. They're just little baby. And then there's the little menace, who's toddler sized and a little bit taller than toddler size, but able to speak, but still don't know alphabet or number.
Baby and you said toddler menace.
Baby toddler, yeah.
Yeah, baby and toddler menace. Infestation of the
Little menace. Little
Little
menace is
Menace.
better than
Little
toddler menace.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say
Also-
toddler menace sounds weird.
I'd also like to say or suggest that Lil Menace probably suggests, what they're about.
Huh?
That's a point.
Yeah.
True.
Little menace, little trickster, they're little freaks, little vermin.
Little cretins of society.
Yeah.
Anyways, in short, the infestation of that tower, had
They
at
evolved.
least the people in the actual prison instead of confinement section of that complex to be moved to the temporary courtroom jail, where after Q and basically Marvoth and Bert were already had a warrant on them, and Q ended up being the ones arresting them. Not knowing there was a warrant initially, but after hearing confirmation, have put Marvoth and Bert in the jail with Ava and Marcy. After a couple hours, that's where we're gonna pick up. You guys took a little nap or rested for a little bit. Bert's gonna be sleeping.
He's crispy.
And after a couple hours of hearing shifting and the shifting of what you can assume is the stands and talks outside, not so much about what's happening outside, but talks about having to keep this going as some of these people have not even been in. Why do I want to say indicted? That's not a word.
That is a word. kind of.
The way indictive though.
Indicted? That's not a word. No, you said it totally wrong.
Indictment.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Anyways, yeah. After a while, eventually, after a couple hours, Hugh comes walking into the room. The other prisoners don't really seem to notice, and this whole you two have put together that for some reason the other prisoners can't hear what's going on outside, but you can hear them, but they can't hear you. It's a weird situation. Q walks up to the cell, kind of offhandedly points his finger at one of the runes on the wall and starts talking. All right, this may be unceremonious, especially with the current state of things outside. Kind of gives a long stare, looking back and forth between Marvroth and Marcy.
Oh, Marcy wakes up.
All right, we're gonna
Marcy goes back to sleep.
Ava sits up, putting on her hat.
Marcy wakes up. Marcy looks at Ava. Marcy looks at Q. Marcy goes to sleep. No, Marcy wakes up. She looks back at Q. Sounds like a Club Penguin dance.
I'm okay. Marv, we're gonna handle your case after we split theirs. We're just going to move forward with splitting the cases so we can get stuff moved on, especially getting moved on with Marcy's. Because as soon as we get your case done, Marv, we can settle this situation, but we need to put the ones that have a higher, let's say, importance to. God, the system sucks. I hate being a fucking defendant, dude. I said dude. I haven't said dude in like thousands of years.
Yeah, it's because of me. Sorry. Can I just pick that up? I don't know why. Maybe I picked it up from you.
I'm stressed. And no, I hope not.
Okay, dude.
Okay. Anyways, Marcy, come on.
Okay,
Bert, we
bro.
don't.
And she lightly punches the side of his arm as she walks out.
Don't poison blast him. Don't poison blast him. Don't poison blast him.
Poison blast.
It's not the name of it. That's what I call it.
That's so
Yes.
funny. Well, let me use fucking blood blast.
It sounds so stupid when someone else says it. God.
Brain blast, go.
Going to
Can we do trial
Ava.
by combat?
Ava, come on.
Okay.
Ava
Ava
combat would be so.
properly stands up, readjusts herself, and walks along with Q.
All right. And as you two walk out from the very short hallway that is the temporary jail cells, you walk into the courtroom and see for the first time a properly well put together courtroom with the stands put in place. There's only a handful of people there. The judge, who is a very much just a regular demon,
Oh, hello.
kind of looks down, puts his glasses down in a typical librarian fashion, kind of looks down. A tiefling and a blood slime. Why am I not surprised?
She tips the top of her head off and then puts it back on.
I don't do contracts anymore, if you're wondering.
I don't. What?
You're made out of something
I'm.
that is not natural, meaning this isn't my job. I'm not a teacher. Okay.
Oh.
You see. Oh god, my brain's shutting off. I need to go grab my notes For a quick reminder. I don't have a mouse. I thought I had this. I don't.
Cut your ass lacking.
Not
Slaps
sure
it.
why I didn't have my notes out.
Settle down, freak.
Tired as balls. Oh God. Kind of sits back down after grabbing his papers. All right. Sits back down. You see, after he stands up, you realize that he was actually has this really long, awkward. He's wearing a regular suit, but like the tail on it's like stupidly long and goes like it drags behind him. Sits back down this pedestal, not the pedestal, the judge's seat, and sits there. Okay. Anand is going to be as the claimer of this case. It's going to be the one trying to indict you. Q, since you are the ones responsible for these two, you're going to be the defendant. Going to need the first to come up. Two of you come up. Oh, I haven't need to do one of these cases in forever. Oh.
Right. Yeah.
So unceremonial too. He kind of looks over to Q and Anand. Are you sure we couldn't get one of the angels here to do this? Why me?
What
Q
the
kind of
fuck?
pipes up. They're busy. Busy with what? Angel things, I don't know. This is what I get for giving up my freedoms. Getting out of my 50 contracts. I get to be a judge for you beings. Anyways.
Really?
Look.
That's what happens?
What? Oh,
Shit.
right. You probably want to know. As we haven't started the session yet, I can tell you this. No, you get to choose your job.
Why'd you choose to be a judge?
I thought it was going to be cooler.
Yeah,
Contracts and stuff.
a little bit cooler being the attorney.
What the fuck is an attorney?
I hate you. God damn it. Fuck off.
I
The
haven't started the
defendant.
session yet, but
Okay.
I would say that would normally strike points against you, but I can't. I have to be unbiased, so
She raises her hands. My apologies, dude.
I appreciate it, dude.
Bro.
Say
Q
the
kind
word,
of.
Your Honor, and I'll do trial by combat against her.
She'll lose.
God, I hate other planar court cases. This sucks. You all have it so backwards.
Marcy fucking just raises her shoulders and grimaces. What the fuck? She goes to sit down.
The session's about to start. Can you please sit down?
Right. Yeah. Ava sits down.
All right. We've decided since. Right. Ceremony. Sorry. Kind of stands up and stands to the left of the judge's podium at his left. Grabs out a knife from under the desk. I, as the judge, will choose to be fully. Looks down at the two of you slowly. Looks over at Anand. As objective as possible and be unbiased until The jury kind of looks at the empty stands. This is so stupid. The jury has decided and given a case to persuade me into one side or the other. He grabs a knife, kind of cuts a little bit off his skin off his thumb. It's a blood drip to the side. Closes it. Sits back down. You guys have it so backwards here too.
Shit's
Okay.
weird, man.
The angels made it. The ones that can't bleed.
Oh.
Kind of sits back down. Kind of see the chair physically stump down as he sits. Puts his elbow on the table. Kind of leans forward with his hand on his head. Okay. I'm reading in these notes. Guys, can we just not? Do we have to do this? We just split the case and hand this off to someone else, right? I mean, one of them doesn't even get to have a case after this. Anand and Q just kind of stare at each other. Anand speaks for the first time. It's required for the cases to continue. You know the paperwork system works like this. We need this. Fine. Okay. Q has motioned to push forward that we were required to split these cases as these two are not as connected as the claimer Anand has thought to be when initially picking up these two across in a pocket plane owned by Yipple. Does Anand have any say against this? And Anand just sits there, quiet, staring. In the case of a no response, it is defaulted without response from the jury. This case will be split. Ava, you are dismissed.
Wait, I'm first?
Yes.
Oh.
Okay.
And Q will send you back to your cell. You will get your... Kind of looks at the papers again. Oh, that's why you're here. You'll be getting your new assignment at home and section in the commissary in the morning. You'll learn more from them. What am I supposed to say? Have a nice stay. She's kind of stuck here forever, right? Anon just shrugs. So quiet in here. God, I hate this.
I could add some liveliness to it. I don't know. It's pretty quiet for me as well.
You say that and it physically echoes through this very large courtroom.
What happened to the rest of the people here? Shouldn't there be more of a presence?
Yeah, normally when there's a crimes against the multiverse where it's supposed to have all the agents here as the jury, as two of our 10 agents are a part of this case, it's kind of hard to do that when the other 8 are busy. Really,
Oh, wait.
I'm not even supposed to be here myself, right? Like I said earlier, angels are supposed to do it. Celestials are supposed to do it. I'm just a I'm a backup. I haven't even passed the bar fully yet.
That's kind of... You fucking... What? I feel sorry for you, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I've been having to deal with petty theft.
Oh, God.
What, like somebody accidentally taking more than 4 fucking pastries, like...
Oh. Hopefully my case won't be as boring.
Like I said, it's going to be very quiet.
Yeah. I mean... What happened outside?
Oh, it's still going on. That's another
What?
reason the city council isn't here right now either, which is supposed to be the people sitting behind you.
No, seriously, what happened outside? I haven't really gotten that much of a detail.
So by now, Q is stood up and is now grabbed Ava by the shoulder and walking towards the jail,
Ava
temporary jail.
goes without any sort of resistance.
Do you really want to know?
Sure. I mean, like, I didn't really question it. Kind of fell asleep,
No.
but it's gonna add to my
Well,
crimes. I'd rather be informed.
it will. Kind of, you see him shuffling through his papers again, moving one in front, the other one behind. Raises up his glasses, doing the thing. Well, it says here. Well, he puts the paper down. Well, obviously, first of all, it appears that many smaller versions of you have spread across the city and now have reached the 50th floor, which is kind of a big deal now. First 10, whatever.
How'd that happen? Who fucking fed one of them donuts?
Kind of shifts the papers back. Well, according to this, it's the person who you're stuck in the cell with, a Marvroth, no last name, as we don't have it on file.
Ooh. He doesn't have a last name. He is.
Well, we don't have it on file.
Oh yeah. Wait, what's my? Do you know my last name?
We just know you as Mars. Q hasn't given us more information, whether or not he has any more.
This feels like an incomplete case.
It really is.
Why should it be tried for something incomplete?
Because you still committed a crime. Just because we
Uh,
don't have a full case doesn't mean it's still not a crime. You wouldn't.
I mean,
On your plane, for instance, would they not, can put somebody down for execution if they still haven't figured out that this mass murderer did some petty theft 15 years ago, right?
I
Just
feel
because we
like
don't.
having a full background for something is important.
Yeah, like I said, I'm only here because I got good scores on parts of the bar, specifically crimes against the multiverse.
Right.
So
Yeah,
I,
I'm very sorry. I'm not trying to like make your job any more worse
oh
than it
no,
is.
no, no, kind of looks over at Anand, who is now just flipping through her book, not even paying attention. Well, he over here made a stupid call, and now I'm forced to be here as we don't have a replacement. Look, you got it easy, all right? The Angels, they take these cases very seriously,
Yeah,
and
I think so.
you aren't making my job harder. Honestly, this is going to make me look good.
Oh, well, hopefully I can. Hopefully this case will provide you some good credit.
Yeah, hoping to get off plane. I don't want to fucking commissaries. Stupid fucking.
Yeah.
This is the first time a big case has happened in years. As you can see, we're in disarray.
Yeah. Uh, that
Other
sucks.
planes have way higher stake cases because we allow other planes to deal with their stuff, which is the smart thing to do, but the Angels say otherwise.
Ooh, that's. Jeez.
Angels are dicks.
I can't really respond to that, but
Yeah, we're
yes,
being recorded. We're being recorded, right?
yes, and also, who said that?
Who said that? Oh, sorry, that was my inner demons.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. She opens up her head and there's like a carousel with like two little mercies on the carousel.
Okay. Anyways,
She puts the head down. Yeah, okay.
I got sidetracked. You want answers on what's happening outside?
Yeah.
Well, like I said, up to the 50th floor. The infestation has spread and has seemingly not coated the entire plane, but has started to at least get to the first floor of many
Uh,
areas. We're going to need to.
I didn't know I could do that.
You didn't?
I didn't.
Why are you even here? Look, this is only possibly minor, as we were already going to move the commissary in a couple months because this plane is starting to decay.
Planes do that.
When you have enough people traveling back and forth between them, yes.
I guess it's like ripping holes through a cotton shirt.
Exactly. But yeah, that's why
Does that
we
mean
only.
like the planes that they travel to also get like ripped apart bit by bit?
So the way that works is the only reason why this plane, as of right now, actually is getting torn down. Right now we're in Larnia. You know where Larnia is?
Kinda. No. Eh. Sorry, man.
Kind of looks down at the papers, right? Sorry. Outer planes. You guys don't get much travelers,
No.
planeswalkers.
It's kind of weird just being stuck in a loop with by Yipples sort of thing.
Yeah, we put Yipple out in the middle of nowhere because he's
Crackpot.
no weirds people out. I don't like to
Oh
say
yeah.
weird things like that, but making him stick
That's
a hand in his eyes is a little weird, and he likes
eh,
being alone anyways.
yeah. I don't know. Being out in the middle of the woods and getting loot. I mean, like, couldn't you put him in his own plane, not connected to any others?
That's not physically possible. That's planes require to be connected to the web.
I see. Okay. Well, it's kind of just obstructing.
Yeah.
Uh,
And by now, after Q giving us basically the same debrief that the um, demon gave Ava, just slightly longer and saying the same thing, Q comes walking back out, sits next to Marcy.
oh yeah, it's pretty interesting. I guess I mean, like, as someone that's like I guess, and she puts in quotes, someone that's uh trouble, no, a danger to the.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm new to all this shit.
Well, trust me. Not the first time people that sit here are. Anyways,
Yeah.
Q, now that you're back. Okay. As we need to get this moving on so we can actually deal with the stuff outside so we can start the moving of the plane sooner than later. Let's talk about you, Marcy.
Hello.
Kind of stands up again. God, why do I have to do this every single court case for fucking crimes against the multiverse? Stands up, stands to the left. He this time very quickly grabs a knife and just cuts his thumbs off. I hereby state this case. Oh shit. That's my whole thumb.
Um, I can't help with that, man.
Don't worry. He kind of puts the knife down on the table in front of him, kneels down, picks it up.
Oh, jeez,
Well,
man.
look, second time, right?
Second time. All right. Do,
Flicks
do
in
you
it.
need do you
No,
need
it's
anything to
good.
connect it back? All right.
No, it's good. He grabs the thumb, he flicks it in the air, and he eats it.
You
Ugh.
can see you can see Marcy has like nails in her hand.
What the?
Uh
Wait, Q, did you not take away her items? Hey, hey,
huh?
hey! I don't know where she gets them.
Oh, this is just I I use this for.
You just kind of quickly grabs at your hands. Hey, give me those nails. You aren't supposed to
Hey,
have
no,
those.
no, no. I got these fair and square.
That doesn't matter. You're one criminal. Come on.
She flips them up and and just like catch them with the other hand, and she claps, and then she holds out her hands, and
I
and the nails aren't there anymore.
the case is already started. You can't. No, this is on
Listen,
record. Now
I'm
this
a
is on record.
magician.
Now this is on record. Oh my god, I'm gonna lose my job. No,
I
you aren't gonna lose your job, Q. Don't worry. just a
So-
couple less years on your research and mandatory court service because you failed to disarm a suspect.
I'm disarmed. It was just nails. I only have those, and it's just like she.
You control blood magic, which may or may not be metal magic.
No. Okay. She goes. She puts her hand behind Q's ear, and pulls out all the nails, and then puts them on the table. Magic. I used to be a sage
Put away
magician.
the weapons
Yeah, she puts them on the table.
before we get another thing
No,
added to your long
no, I'm
laundry
sorry.
list of crimes.
Oh yeah,
I get
okay.
it. I get it. It's new. It's different. Weird laws. Like I
I
said,
used to be
angels made this. This isn't
a
me.
defendant too. Don't worry.
All right. Since we have reinstated this, we're going to continue this case. Kind of lifts up his other hand that has a thumb. We are going to fully start this case as we have not fully started it yet.
Okay.
We have our defendant Q and the claimer of the suspect Anand for Marcy and as a being indicted for an incomplete list of crimes against the multiverse. Mainly of more importance, a blood contract with a demon. Deity, we don't really know. Let us start with first of all, talking about our witnesses. Looks down at the papers. As for the second half of the previous case, as this was split, God, I hate saying the obvious. At least we don't have an actual person writing all this down. From the previous case, Ava, Q, please go get her. Q stands up, walks over to the cell. Ava?
You just thought me. Okay.
Yeah, I know. Come on.
Okay. Just confused and bewildered, she goes back.
I mean, I can write this down. I have like.
And moves.
Oh.
No, we don't want to write it down. It's already written down automatically. Oh, Ava,
Okay.
please sit down behind Marcy as you are a key witness to this case.
Okay.
She waves.
Hi.
Looks down at his paper again. And for the second witness, a Marvroth, who is currently also has a case upcoming. Q, once again, walks off silently, opens up the cell again.
It gets
Looks
written
at
down automatically. How?
it's written. It's like I'm seeing in the notes here. It sounds like you guys have sending journals. It's
Right.
kind of like how the library has theirs, right?
Oh, I haven't been to the library. I was in a prison. You know.
Oh, you
Jarred,
haven't? Okay, I thought you did because that's where the infestation apparently started.
No.
My bad.
I never went there.
Oh,
I don't
I
remember
guess.
going there.
It's true.
Anyways.
I stayed at her for a day.
It was
Interesting. And
very weird.
he does the glasses thing as they were falling off his nose and writes down something on a piece of paper. Marvroth, you awake? Kind of snaps in front of Marv's eyes. Hey,
I'm here.
you're being called up as a witness, and kind of stares at Bert. I think we'll just leave him. You can speak for him, right?
What?
You both have witnessed the same things that Marcy has done. All right. Hopefully he didn't do anything drastic like strip naked when you weren't there.
Oh, he's completely naked. Dick out.
I was just going
Yeah.
Okay, just say you've witnessed most of the
to.
same
Yeah,
things
just
that Bert has.
yeah. As Marvel's just around. Yeah, just let's go.
Grabs you by the shoulder, walks you out, and Marv, you also see for the first time that this is a completely empty room, devoid of a normal court that you've at least somewhat familiar with.
I mean, what are the benefits of joining the commissary?
Well, for me, I got to be rid of my 50 different contracts of a web, very similar to your deity, but mine weren't as serious.
I hear they have good dental.
No, well, it depends per race. Some d- dental costs too much for like shark people, right?
Uh,
That's something insurance companies can't cover.
I mean, I get dental. I mean, I do it myself, but like that's just like good hygiene.
Marvroth, sit down behind behind Marcy and next to Ava, please.
Marvrov is kind of walking off. He's gonna whisper. Um,
Yes. Is that weird? You know that's still recorded, right?
I mean, like, is I mean, what's? I'm not gonna actually ask that. Never mind.
We can talk about that later. And if
Yeah.
you're
Okay.
worried about your deity, don't worry about it. Well,
Oh,
I
she.
don't. Yeah, sorry. I am unbiased. He
Right.
kind of
Okay.
raises his hand with that's missing the thumb. I am unbiased. And
I
kind of
raise my
lowers it
hand as
again.
well. I am unbiased as well.
I don't think that's possible.
Okay. I am biased as hell.
Okay. Well, now I'm. How am my thumb?
Do you,
It's just
do you
starting to
need
hurt.
do you need a replacement thumb? She takes off hers.
No, no, no. Ew. No, it grows back.
Okay. Okay.
Ava
Okay.
points at Marvroth, and he's a cleric.
You can't
He could
use magic
probably
in the
fix you.
courtroom
Bad enough.
unless you want to be demonstrated how it goes off.
We've already
Oh,
seen it.
We've
all
already
right.
seen
already
it. I've lost one nail. Oh.
friend back there.
Q, are you going to go grab that friend, by the way, or do
He's extra crispy.
Q kind of stands up? Marvroth has stated that he is confident enough in saying that he has witnessed the same things that Marcy has done that Bert has. They were there most of the time together. He's confident in saying it. Am I incorrect in saying that? Marvroth kind of stares at you, tilting his head.
Yes, I'm very confident, and I can speak for.
Oh, Marv's seen more.
All right, he kind of the demon grabs a pen, the pencil back up, and starts writing. Okay. All right.
Oh, Marcy me.
Now that all the
Of course.
witnesses are here, case is going to most likely be longer than other cases. I should announce all people present, including myself. As the claimer, we have the agent Anand. As the defendant, the agent Q.
Woohoo!
The indicted. This is not a sports match. Do not cheer.
Sorry.
As the indicted, a Marcy.
Marceline Mortis.
Marceline Mortis goes down to write down on the paper. All right.
Just my
Do you
name
prefer?
myself.
Do you wish to be called Marcy or Marceline?
Marcy. Marceline, if we're being formal.
I have to be formal.
Okay, sorry.
It's just a job, like I said. He says whispered, right? Can't whisper. They pick up everything. Marceline, a Marceline
Yes.
Mortis, and witness 1, and Ava, and witness 2, a Marvroth. And me, as the head judge for this court case, I hate this name. Damon.
Pretty cool name.
Play on word for demon.
No, yeah, but like I used to know a guy named Damon. Pretty cool.
Wait, was he another? Is he another
Hmm?
deity or devil?
No, I have no idea. No,
No,
he was just kind of like a. Unfortunately, he was a tiefling.
no, oh no. Then I knew this
Yeah,
guy. Sorry, off topic. Very unprofessional. Anyways,
it's fine. We're fine. We're all friends here, I think.
now that we are unbiased, I stand unbiased. He says, raising his
Sorry,
hand, missing a thumb.
I stand unbiased as well.
Once again, that's not possible. You can.
Mercy,
stand
you're
very
the most
biased.
biased person here.
I'm very biased. Yes.
Okay. Lowers his hand again. Okay. Picks up the papers, pushes up his glasses. All right. So, with the stated case intent of charging Marceline with the crime against the multiverse of making a blood contract with a blood demon, a suspected blood demon, I'd like to ask as the judge. Actually, no, I'll leave this to the claimer Anand to ask this question, as is he's the one who written it down, and I should leave my curiosities behind as a judge. Still learning. Sits back in the chair, leans back. Anand steps up, just stands from his chair, looks over to Q. Q, you're being indicted, is being charged with having a blood contract with a blood deity. I asked the question, is it true that the deity is indeed of a blood demon and not just another form of deity? Q stands up and looks over to Marcy. Marcy, do you wish to answer this question?
Give it up to you, man.
Kind of blinks at Marcy.
Oh wait, I'm supposed to answer.
Marceline,
Uh, she thinks. I mean, which one's the worst answer? She's a blood demon.
as suspected. So, the charge of the crime is the correct one. Judge kind of sits down. Judge picks up his paper, writes something down. As this is the correct crime to be committing, we move on with this case.
Didn't really compare me to you.
Q kind of sits down. I wish to have a private conversation with the indicted, please. God, I've been spending too much time on messed up planes. I almost said my client. With the indicted, please. And the judge, okay. You for a second, you see Anon stand up to object, but the bubble appears behind, around the four of you, and Q looks over. Right, this includes the witnesses. Hey, Marcy,
Yes.
first of all, do you care if they know? I mean, they're going to figure out either way over the
I mean,
course of this
yeah,
case, right?
Of course they'll. I can't. I mean, like they know that.
Did Marcy lie?
I did
No.
not lie. She is like a blood demon, right?
You're not sure, are you?
Oh, wait. So you aren't sure either? Okay, look, you said I didn't correct. You're right. I didn't prepare you enough, and that's why I'm kind of doing this now, because I kind of forgot to tell you. You tried to avidly make sure that you wanted to defend yourself, so I'm going to allow you to do that, but butt in with the facts myself, right?
Okay. She is a blood emissary that's just trapped. She's control of blood. Created me, kinda.
A blood emissary.
Yeah.
Okay. But I think that's past. We can't really change a fact
Yeah.
that's been
Okay.
stated.
So wait, is anything we say just a fact? Can they fact check anything?
The fact checking can only be made when another case be formed to fight said case. It's like the damon's not wrong. It's made by angels. It's stupid.
Okay. So
I mean-
what other things should I be informed of? Like any other questions that they might spring on me that I might not know about?
He kind of flips through his notes of papers. I legally can't say.
You legally can't say to your fucking what?
Yeah, angels. I can't tell you what. Look, they formulated the questions already. But if on your plane, for instance, they make a system to form a defense based off information on the case, technically not a thing for the angels.
Well, I mean, like, do you know any questions that would be asked of me that I could possibly answer in a better way than blood demon?
I think that's why he can't tell you, so you can't bend the truth, and you have to make something up on the spot.
yeah,
Oh, sick. Okay.
because that exactly I can tell you.
But
I
then you
can't
can
say that
formulate.
because that's yeah. I'm trying to dance around it. It's
Okay.
really
Okay.
hard to
Okay.
talk about. So
I think we're able to go back in.
reminder
Yes.
that this is being recorded.
This
I
inside the
cannot
bubble.
tell you, perhaps, in the mayhaps chance that maybe he kind of thinks for a second, brings up his fingers. 1, 2. That no, maybe that by chance, perhaps, kinda, with the 5 fingers up, that the system can tell when you're lying. And that's the recording. Why we're recording.
I thought it was gonna
Close
be
his
truth
hand.
potioned.
No.
Okay. Cool.
And
We're-
maybe perhaps kinda maybe for what's another word for it? Uncertainly, the system is the truth potion.
Okay. So
I think what he's trying to say is that the system is probing your mind for the truth.
He kind of raises up his hand and makes the kind of some motion.
so that's a kind of like okay. I think I understand.
I cannot. I can only give the facts that I've pertained to myself, and cannot be as I am a. Even though I'm a defendant, I'm only defending the truth. I
Okay.
hate saying that.
That's not really how attorneys work
It's-
in our world, so that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we can go back in. I'm perfectly
Like-
able to defend.
All right. Kind of swivels in the chair, physically swivels the chair around.
Whee!
A chair that is swivelable. Makes a motion towards the. Kind of makes a bubble-like motion with 2 fingers towards Damon, and Damon like flicks his finger across. All right, that has been enough time, it seems, to discuss the things that we're going to discuss. So, as we have chosen a correct, it looks like, to our current information, a correct crime to put upon you, as it is a crime against the multiverse. The way the courts work, it is enough to indict you for a crime. And we have a proper case on hand, and we do not require a full case to continue. Now, to get the fullest information out of the defendant and the indicted, I would like to ask, and I, as the judge, and Anand, as the claimer of the indicted, we have a couple questions to ask. I will allow I, as the judge, as I remain impartial, must make my questions after gaining information from the claimer, and then ask questions accordingly. So, claimer, Agent Anand, please stand and ask your questions towards the indicted. And Anand stands up and walks out. Look, okay. This is a little weird walking up here without a jury or the city council. I was the last one to do one of these cases, but even then, still weird. All right. So, Marcelin and Q, if you have said information, Marcelin, you may choose to let Q answer questions for you, or you can answer them yourselves.
Cool.
I have a list of items that I feel like we must further execute upon this case. Execute's not the proper word, right, Damon? Not at all. That's totally wrong, but point is given. We must charge you with some more crimes. We are here to asking you a couple more. I am here to ask you a couple more questions. So, To those that will answer, Marcy's demon. Demon? Can I call it demon? Marcy?
You
Marcelin?
an emissary, a demon, whichever you like.
I'm gonna go with emissaries. It feels kind of looks over his shoulder, less rude to say right now. Your emissary. To those who may answer, the emissary of Marcelin looks like has a large handful of contracts. They're deeply woven and interconnected. He kind of moves his hand up in a motion, and you see behind him almost a whiteboard-esque object appear behind him, but it's more of a. It's not fully physical, kind of. And on the whiteboard, on the board itself has a number of names that are incomprehensible and written in abyssal that only Marcy can read. String back and forth between the few, with multiple strings all around in the middle in common, listing Marcy's deity in the middle, with only about all the strings leading to, but the secondary string doesn't really go towards them at all. So, as you can see here, the contracts listed by connections of who's who on the name written below. It is not a crime against the multiverse to make contracts with another's name, at least to you, Marcy. So we're passing that on if we ever get to. I don't think we do. Kind of looks over at Damon. We don't really indict deities anymore, do we? Damon shakes his head. No. Who knows? Maybe we will. A lot of miswritten contracts, all of them that are supposed to be according to your conversation with your deity that was recorded. Sorry to say if you didn't know that. Q kind of shrugs a little bit.
She does look over at Q.
Shrugs. I had to. It was recorded, and only though it was a redacted for information not important to this case. Kind of Anand looks a little irritated with saying that. The important information that was passed on to us through that recording of writing through this book, he pulls out of a bag, which he has a satchel on for some reason, pulls a book out. This has the written recordings with the redacted information. We do not have the non-redacted for this case. Puts it back. This is the listed amount of contracts. Now, the question that to whom may answer. Did Marcelin choose to agree to these contracts knowingly under her deity, or does she not have any idea, any information on these said contracts?
She stands up. I've had no affiliation with the contracts. Any contracts that I have been made known of, I have not really abided by.
Okay. Kind of. And Anand kind of looks a little disappointed by that, and Damon is writing just something down. Very short. All right. And if you did not know about said contracts, did your deity, to your knowledge, do any of the contracts that your deity formed involve you? To whom may ask?
None to my knowledge. Though I am a vessel for her to interact with the world with, I am still a being of myself, and her will is not my own.
All right. He actually grabs the board by the bottom, the Imperial board, and lowers it down a smidge more to show a new line being formed, and at the bottom, Marcelin. So, when you're saying that you're not connected in any way to these contracts,
To my
can you,
knowledge.
to your knowledge, can you confirm that this is the correct way of showing these webs of contracts with you only being directly connected to the emissary?
I'm only connected to the emissary. No other contracts have been made with other deities to me.
All right. Now that the system has had a calibrated truth, kind of snaps away the board. All right. Information we already knew, but only need to confirm a little bit more information from. Do not need to indict you with more crimes in that case. Now, since we do not have any connections to, as of right now in this case, to indict you with crimes against the multiverse besides the blood contract itself, we cannot further push towards, not definitively with our current information, I should say, push forward any more charges without more information being asked. With that, I rest my first questions. And he Anand, seemingly very disappointed at this, not really letting it, doesn't make him slump or anything. He just sounds disappointed and irritated. Walks down, backs to his seat. Damon finishes writing something down. All right. All right. So, as the first rounds of questioning from the claimer has gone through, I must ask my questions first, but it does not look like we have any more information according to said current information. Kind of are all nullified, being only just the book and the charge of a blood deity connection. So, as that is totally undeniable that you have a blood deity connection, you cannot put that one is going to be set as charge as of right now. And all other charges that were suggested, that being, raises up his paper, direct connections with the one who started the last interplanar war, will not be charged.
She looks like you.
Kind of looks back. Yeah, I suggested it.
You what?
No, I suggested.
Oh, okay.
That was stupid. What I mean suggested, and you hear him blabbering on about very menial stuff like connections between deity X, deity Y. Look, right? What I meant by that was I suggested it to you that you're working with something that can destroy it, that started the last universe.
Yeah, I get it. Okay.
Not the last universe, the last planar war. But yeah, anyways,
I do want to ask a question, quick one.
it'll be recorded.
What's the deal with? Since it's already been confirmed, I'm blood contracted. What's the wrongings of that?
Oh, you'll figure out.
Okay, cool.
And
she looks back at the judge.
And the judge still with his paper now just fully blocking the view, just reading off a very long list of charges. The charge of
Yeah. Okay. Continue the conversation. What? Like I've done nothing like egregious.
look, with the information that I gave Anand for the case to exist, because I am required to, he made a large list of stuff. And this is what we're reading off. He's worked really hard on this, but he's still going to push forward on his stuff too.
No,
Yeah.
None of this stuff is like worth it. I don't care about this stuff. I care about like just the blood contract charge.
That's really bad.
I don't know. She's kind of just like a nice person. It's like giving your mom cookies.
because you may not be working with the one who started the last planar war, which
Well, I'm
the reason
not.
why
Now
we're
it's confirmed.
but you're indirectly working with him without
I'm-
your knowledge, and that's still a crime.
Okay, but I think okay. We can continue with the trial. I think I know how to get myself out of this.
No, if you're going to try and that charge is already out.
I know.
That you are getting that. You aren't going to be able to talk yourself out until the second rounds of questioning.
Okay.
You get to defend yourself in a second.
Okay.
Try not to push it. Kind
I'm
of
trying
sits
to-
there. And finally, the last crime that Anand tried to push with said information looks down, looks over to Anand. Was this one really necessary? Starting a cult of a
I
multiplanar level.
no.
Okay. Can I ask Agent Anand where you got that information from? And Anand's gonna stand up. It sounded like, from the pages I read, from the information I got, it sounds like they were talking about someone who was in with the deity and was. I don't know. They were talking about this person as though they were a nuisance, but have been sticking around for a long time, purposely trying to get their attention. Q
The
kind of.
hand guy?
The hand guy? And Q kind of like, this is not important to this. All right.
Okay.
The charge has already been dropped. Judge Damon, can we please continue? Yes. All right. As those charges have been dropped and the first round of questioning on the claimer side has been done, I will allow the defendant and the indicted to make a case defending themselves first and foremost. Then we will get into witness questioning on other stuff to pull more information out to know what other things we may or may not need to charge you if there's any multi-level crimes that you've done. All right. Okay. Sorry. Haven't passed the bar. That was really incomplete and didn't get the point across. The witnesses will be asked after the indicted and the defendant make a case to defend themselves of pre-existing and may not be existing information that may indice that you are innocent. After that, the witnesses will be asked to divulge information that they know of that may be actions that you have done that can lead to interplanar problems.
Cool.
So, with that settled, the indicted or the defendant may stand and give their case. Q stands up. I give the floor the whole time over to Marcelin. Sits back down.
She stands up. Honestly, this is a new one for me. I'm kind of making. No, okay. Your Honor, I stand before you as someone that pledges their life to a blood deity, not for any sort of bad reasons, mind you. I have only decided to help her because she has given me a life fulfilling and a life of worth living. It is only due to her that I have kept my joy of life so sanctuous, so pure. Is it not right to pay her back for all the goodness she's given me? Although I'm associated, although she has decided to contract herself with people ungracious. She has done so out of desperation. She has done so out of the pure need to want to leave the state of being she is at, of which she is in a horrible state of being, chained to the innermost walls of the deepest plains unimaginable. I have no idea where she could be. I have no idea where I could be whenever I am there. It scares me, and I just want to make sure that she's given the best, because that is what she has given me. She sits down.
All right. Before we move to, as we have pertained new information, I have a feeling, as the judge of this case, that maybe some of this information was known in the redacted information that may or may not be important to the case. Q, Agent Q, can you confirm or deny this? Q stands up. This information I did not deem necessary to the charges that were met and were said at the time, as I give a redacted, as a further redacted information from the case. But yes, it appears, to my knowledge at least, the information I have that the court and the claimer have pushed on, that this is indeed the case, that it was an act of desperation and not out of greed. All right.
Sorry, let me just put the cat.
Yeah, no.
Sorry.
Why? How did a cat get in here?
Happens to the best of us.
Do I need to add a? Nope. An abyssal cat just happens to appear out of nowhere. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Not the first
That's
time.
a lot. I don't know why.
That is not multiversal scale. That is a minor inconvenience. I don't need to charge you with that.
She nods. Thank you.
Writes down a note. God, my pencil lead broke.
Fuck.
And he sighs. He leans under the table, grabs out a old-fashioned pencil sharpener, puts the pencil in, and slowly rotates the handle. Now, one of these days, someone has to invent a pencil that can, like, I just need to push a button, and, it just makes new lead.
You're speaking to the choir here, but actually, I don't. You're not speaking to the
What's
choir.
a pencil?
I already do that. What's a pencil, dude?
It's a pen, but without the ink.
It's a soul.
That's stupid.
What?
That's weird.
It's like using charcoal.
Huh?
It's charcoal. Okay. Do you think a pen is? Do you have ink cartridges on your plane?
We have ink.
Use and then we use
Oh,
Wait. Outdated.
so the pencil is the pencil invented? I mean, it's suggested that the pencil's invented.
I've
never
never
had
heard of a pencil.
have a damn pencil.
It appears that one of the witnesses was noble. Maybe they had a pencil. Whatever. That's it. That's just
Wait,
fun
I am a
fact.
pencil, kinda.
Yeah, what's that supposed to mean? Anyways,
Okay, fuck.
he finishes sharpening the pencil, continues writing down.
Marcy takes off her finger, starts drawing on the table with it.
Okay, I've written down what I find important from that short stint. Okay, now that the indicted has stated their case, and now that in the first round of questions from the claimer has been done, I call to the stand witnesses that want to either talk together or one at a time up now to be asked questions. Kind of puts the paper down, stares at Marvroth and Ava.
Ava gets up.
Marvroth, do you
And-
wish to join, or do you wish to go on your own?
Marv stands up.
Ava, do you wish to allow this?
I'll allow it.
Okay, I call forth both Ava and Marvroth to the stand.
Okay, I'm gonna need you to get ready for those objections.
Objections. Oh, yeah, objections, right. We don't use those. I don't use those that often.
What the? Oh, okay. I thought you
These
just
cases
didn't
aren't.
exist.
No, they do. Like, don't get me
Okay,
wrong, but
just-
normally these cases are so set in stone with the angels, you know?
Right.
You can already tell, but look, your case is light.
My case is weird.
You don't say. And two of you manage to get up onto the stand, which you now realize has two sets of stairs to get up. It doesn't look like it's that high up from where you sit, but now that you're sitting there, you realize, yeah, this is like nearly 15 feet off the ground, and the judge is even higher.
She wears at them.
Marv's gonna.
Oh my
Sorry.
god, I thought we had fixed the windows so that assholes with mufflers on their airships don't do that.
You hear, fuck you!
God, you would think people would have more common sense during a natural disaster.
Do you even know what an airship or a muffler is, Ava? No offense.
Is that what they're called?
Is what I say going to go on record?
Yes.
Yes.
No, I do not.
What?
No,
What?
I do not know what an airship or muffler is.
Okay.
If you wish to throw incentives, and Damon sits there very flabbergasted at his own words. Insensitive.
Obscenities?
Obscene, thank you. Obscenities at me. You can.
Okay.
I do remain unbiased.
You'll remain unbiased, right?
Stares at you.
She stares back.
I stare
Go
at
fuck
you.
yourself.
He looks back down at his paper. All right.
Go fuck yourself. She writes in quotes.
All right. So now that we have all witnesses up to stand, we can ask. The claimer is allowed to ask questions to only and only the witnesses on actions that Marceline, the indicted, have taken against, or maybe perhaps against the multiverse, and even to the point to where it may be suggested that said actions can affect said multiverse. God, I hate these angels. I mean, these angels make me irritated.
I hit angels at dicks.
I remain unbiased, he says, still looking at his paper. All right. Claimer, please stand and ask your questions. Anand stands up, walks towards Ava and Marvroth stand. Oddly enough, as Anand gets closer to the perspective of Ava and Marvroth, he seems to elongate, but to Marcy and Q, looks regular, just kind of standing there and kind of meets head and head with Ava and Marvroth. It looks almost like he's been stretched. So,
Trying not to laugh at what he's witnessing. Outstretched.
Anand kind of looks over. Do you have something to say, Marvroth?
Um, nothing, sir. And if by any chance do you like string beans?
Oh my god. Q, did he forget to tell him about the space warping between the judge's podium and the floor? Q, just
Marv,
kind
you're
of,
so silly.
I mean,
oh,
Marcy, if you were
right.
seeing if you were seeing what I was seeing, I was thinking you'd be making the same jokes.
I would be saying that. I no, I wouldn't. I would be as bad as the jokes as you are.
Okay. If you want to know, the to make Mr. Jamin here not be the size of the room, as he is a demon, and angels are around the same size, we are required to shift the space around the podium to make him look regular size.
That
And
makes
that
sense.
is affecting the space around him, meaning I look like a string bean, as you would put it.
It's like that one Minecraft mod.
That explains why everything is so much lower than us.
Yes, that is why you're technically a story and a half up instead of a couple steps.
Right.
Don't worry, you can hear us just fine. You'll be able to hear any objections. I guarantee the defendant and the indicted may spew out.
Spew?
So,
What the fuck?
oh yeah, by the way, you can throw your own objections if you want, but it won't really look that good.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you.
Yeah, I know. Just I forgot to mention that too. Look, stressful few days.
I know what I'm doing.
Tell. Yeah, I know. Kind of. All right. Now that the indicted and the defendant are done talking, so may I call you by nicknames that you've already given each other? Well, specifically you, Marvroth. Can I call you just Marv?
Allow it.
Ava, I don't have a nickname for you. It's short enough name anyway. So,
Uh,
Marv, Ava,
It.
kind of slowly turns around, very stone like, and stares at Marcy. Indicted, do you want to say something?
Do you
Yeah.
have an objection?
Objection. You can call her a smaller nickname.
Is this important to the case?
Ev.
It's gonna
Eh.
even more slowly turn around,
Just hear
almost
the
like
stone
stone.
crackling, just like. Grrr.
Ava's just muttering to herself, whispering under her breath, "You can't use your magic. You can't use your magic. You can't use your magic. You can't use your
And
magic."
the judge kind of looks staring at his paper, kind of looks over down to Ava. Miss Ava, you know every word you say, including mutter, is recorded.
I will refer to my previous statement that I said to you, Mr. Damon.
I see. And he picks up his pencil and starts writing something down. Same with you, Marcelin. Obscenities are not required in court, anyways. Anand, please continue. All right, so Marv, Ava, how long would you say you've known, or how long has it been since you met Marcy?
40 days, maybe 2 months.
Say that about a couple of months.
Okay,
Time
in
feels
that
slower around her.
time. Oh, really?
Yeah,
Is that
because
a
of how painful
literal?
she makes.
It's not literal. I may remind you, so the judge may not. I would prefer, for the sake of clarity, to not make such comments that are metaphorical.
Right, because the threat to the multiverse and all that.
Time dilation is a real thing around people, can hurt a lot of things. So, since you've only known Marcy for 2-ish months, in that time, would you say she perhaps is really driven by blood?
Yes.
Possibly combat.
Whenever we're done with combat, she always drains the blood of our foes.
Does she seem desperate in doing so?
Probably.
Sometimes,
Yeah.
not all the time.
Okay. Once she draws this blood, have you ever seen the sigils being written down?
Yeah.
Kind of looks over at Marv.
Yes.
All right. These sigils, do they do anything more than just glow red and suck up blood?
Uh, one of them she used to try to kill Q.
Marv,
Objection.
is this correct?
She told us she sent.
Yeah, well, she
Yes.
fucking lied.
Ava, once again, so the judge not has to do this, may I remind you, no
Sorry.
unnecessary comments. So, Marv, can you confirm whether or not that statement is true?
And she did tell us, yes, she did it in front of us. She sent home
All right.
back to it.
As the system has been calibrated to your truths, I may get on to deeper questioning. All right. So, you two have knowledge of the special rune, we'll call it for now. Sounds like the two of you have had further information since Q's adventure with it. Would you say that when you saw this sigil written down for the first time, did you notice anything odd happening around the sigil or any times that she used it since then? Any oddities such as unexplainable things in the normal laws of magic?
Club Corp.
Objection.
The daemon kind of. Marcelin, appears you said objection quietly. Did the system pick it up wrong?
Yeah, I'm trying to fucking tell you when to object.
Kind of looks at Q.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to advise my legal counsel.
Your legal counsel is only allowed to tell the information that he has. So, would you please defend yourself since you're the one who did the objection? State why.
If this is in accordance with the sigil of which entrapped Q, it is wrong information. The sigil that drains blood is the regular one that I use. It is not the special one that...
I do believe Ancient Anon asked sigils plural, then continued to push towards the one in accordance to the one that trapped Q.
She nods. Okay. She sits down.
So, you may continue. Anon looks back up. I will once again wish to ask you to finish your elaboration on what the sigil that entrapped Q, specifically the one, as looks like I must specify more, the sigil that entrapped Q, if she A, used it ever again after the fact, and B, if anything weird happened with it specifically.
Sure. I've only actually seen visual sigil be one time.
Oh, right. The book. I remember when she trapped
Objective
Q.
relevant.
No, when she trapped Q in the book.
Then stop,
Uh,
Ava. It appears that you have not been in a court. Often, when somebody says objective, you're supposed to stop. A, that is my statement to you, Ava.
Oh.
To Marcelin, to answer your objection, continue, Ava.
When the sigil that sucked away Q, when it interacted with the sending journals in a strange way and caused it to be filled with nonsense.
Anand nods his head, looking down. Okay. As it appears that after Q was used, had the sigils used on Q, the sending book appeared to have been messed with. To clarify, to make sure we are on the same page here, or to confirm information that may dissuade this fact with either outside sources and was in fact not the sigil, I may ask the question, was there any outside sources that may or may not have had access besides the commissary and besides Q that would have access and have messed with the sending journal provided to you by Q, extended by the commissary, that may have messed with it in any magical means?
No.
No one has touched it besides the four provided to your party.
No one has touched it beside S4.
You see Damon looking down, writing a note down. Okay, so as with our current information, we know that there would have been no outside sources. Can you say anything on the fact of the matter that it may perhaps have stopped after Q returned? Did the sending journal stop being messy?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Your Honor, I believe that the suggestion of the sending journal being messed up in such a way suggests that there was abyssal magic used in such a manner, and I may say that the abyssal magic in manner may have been related to time dilation or the manipulation of time. That being said, I do not believe that Marcy was the one to change the sigils in such a way to enact this. We have no information to right now believe that Marcy is capable of using abyssal magic. And Judge looks down over to Anand. Thank you for not putting such an accusation onto Marcy, as that would require a lot more work. Oh, thank you, Anand, for that. All right. Starts writing something down. All right. Let me continue with your questions, Anand. All right. Now that we've clarified that the sigil itself does have other means of usage, do you know why or what purpose? No. I'm going to, if I may, Your Honor, restate this question. Your Honor, the Damon just kind of waves off a hand. So, you two. Do you know when she gained access to this sigil? Was it within the 2 months that you two have known her?
No, I'm not really sure when she acquired this.
Okay.
I would assume that she did. I mean, I would assume that if it was a beta sigil, that she would have been using it the entire time. She only recently started using it.
To your knowledge, she only recently started using it. Do you have
Yes.
any definitive answer on it besides just a perhaps?
No.
Oh, be right back, cockroach. Sorry.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yes, please deal with that, cockroach. I hate those things. She was very brave to offer herself to. Marcy just kind of deals with the cockroach. And everybody else, in the meantime. Okay. I'm sorry this is so abysmally dull. I explained it to Marcy earlier, you two, but the city council, as you may know, as one of you may obviously know, um, there's some really bad things happening out in the commissary right now. We're trying to enact a. We're trying to get through these cases so we can enact a plan to move the commissary to another plane since this one has been irrevocably damaged, which is not a big deal that we're moving planes. It's just, that
I'm
inconvenience.
back, my sorries.
No, no problem. Thank you for dealing with that cockroach. We normally just evacuate.
Oh, okay. So y'all kept doing. Okay, cool.
Yeah, no. I get it. Sometimes when you're dealing with such things, you kind of just space out and don't hear other people. Totally get it. Anyways,
What?
yeah. So basically, yeah, we're just trying to. No, we're allowed to, since it's a multiplanar crime, we're allowed to push the case forward. And because multiplanar cases take precedent over regular cases, we can't move forward with indicting the one who caused the stuff happening outside right now. So we're kind of dealing with no jury and no city council, which is oddly enough, in my opinion, which is really stupid, allowed. But
Yeah.
oh yeah, don't worry. By the way, the case is not recording anything we're saying right now. I stopped the case. They don't record.
Cool.
I've stopped the recording. I'm allowed to shit on the angels right now because
Fuck yeah, man.
one
You go
deemed
at it.
hey, one deemed necessary, such as a cockroach in the building or a spider in the building of any size, we do evacuate and or fend off. In the case, we are allowed to fling such obscenities at each other as normal when you're fighting a creature that can enlarge itself to.
Wait, this isn't a cockroach.
What kind of cockroach do you have here?
Wait,
What
Oh,
the
those.
fuck?
She puts it down on the table. It's one of the mini mercies.
Oh, you're kidding me, right? This is an improper. Whatever. A
Uh,
misunderstanding. I can pass it. Look, cockroaches.
Cock.
I stop. Hey.
I
I have
cast
a
magic at the
stutter.
moment, sir.
No, that's still in place.
Fuck.
Normally, cockroaches. I know I stopped at a really weird part in that. Cockroaches and spiders. There's a certain genus that can just so happen to jump through interplanar portals or travels in normal cases, or even just come through the interplanar lanes through the web and other means that are invasive planar species. One of the few non-humanoid species that don't get eviscerated by the web when traveling through it
Oh,
to get to other planes. That being the genus of spider and cockroaches, which just so happen to be able to feast on blood and enlarge to probably 10 times the size of this courtroom.
No matter where you are, there's always a threat of an interplanar spider.
No, no, no. Don't like thinking about that. Technically not true. They can't plane walk themselves, at least that we know of. They're required to piggyback off other people.
Allegedly.
Yes, not allegedly, very true. We've done research into this. It's just that planeswalkers required to be sentient. They're like a virus, you know. Do you guys know about germs and viruses?
What the fuck are we talking about?
I know about humans.
Yeah, we know about.
Similar?
I've had a bit of germ.
Not germa, a germ.
What? You know about germa?
Please no,
He's
not
a
again.
constant
Not
he's a
again.
constant within the universe. He's it's
Oh
weird.
God,
Between
what a
planes, he
wonderful
is
jester
constant.
he is.
You know, he's a
Keeps
jester in
going on
yours.
about.
Okay.
She keeps going on about Gemma. Not again. Not again.
Don't
Can we
worry.
continue?
We will continue in a second, but just know that germs are a thing. Wash your hands. Please don't spread a plague or something. Use soap.
Yeah, wash my hands. She says with her. She wiggles her fingers. Yeah. What?
I don't know.
Just don't.
Clean your blood or something. I don't know.
Just don't high five me.
Kind of. Is that spread to papers too?
It does.
It
Oh
does.
God, you're like a walking. Ugh, don't think about it. Anyways, if you want to know, Germa is a mind virus, sort of. He across the constants, he's able to entice people.
That's nuts, man. You're fucking with me.
No, we have lots of papers. We haven't found the main Germa yet. We have an arrest warrant on him, but we can't find the original Germa anywhere.
It
Is
sounds
there
like
any?
Kolbrak.
Is there any way I? Okay, this is off the
Oh,
record,
it's not a
right?
time travel thing, if you're wondering. I've read the cases on Koldrack from Q's reports, but no, it's look,
Fucking hate Kolbrak.
you're petty. Okay.
Is okay. This is off the record, right? Off the
This is
record?
off the records right now. Honestly, I would prefer to not do this case longer.
How do I? How do you become like Germa?
Oh no, you are not allowed to do that. That is a class 3 felony. Crimes against the multiverse. That's not good.
Okay.
We will
Okay.
execute you. That's one of the few things we will execute you for.
Well, this is off the record. She looks at the person that's supposed to be persecuting her. Off the record.
It's not. Can you record? No. I want to continue. I want to have this
Yeah.
break.
Yeah. Let's go.
I cannot. No one knows. If you're wondering, I can tell what you're going to ask. A lot of people that learn about Germas for the first time ask the question, "How do I become like a Germa?" We don't know.
I think
the answer to that question is you need to ascend.
I think unfortunately I'm ascending without my knowledge, with the fact that there are multitudes of me out there.
Oh no, that's normal.
That's me. That's normal.
Well, I wouldn't say normal compared to Germa. Germa's not anything like you. Germa somehow is able to just be everywhere at once.
Is he fourth dimensional?
Gotta get better.
Who knows? No one knows.
How do I get better?
What do you mean?
I need a Pepsi.
How do I get better?
What's a Pepsi?
Don't worry about it, Damon. Abel walks away.
What, you can't just walk out of the court.
This is non-canon. This is stupid.
Stop walking back to your jail cell.
She's gone. I'm sorry. I think she's done with her testimony. Oh well.
Ava returns to the stand. She has a Pepsi in hand.
Where did you? What
How
the
do you do
hell?
that?
Where did you even store that in the jail?
You stored that in your prison
Don't worry
pocket,
about it.
didn't
You don't want to know. You don't know. You don't want to know.
The Pepsi prison pocket. We all know about that. We all know you have it.
Oh, yeah. No. Okay. Anyways, if you want to learn more about Germas, all right, there's something in the library. It's on the 250th floor, so it's safe from what am I supposed to call them? The infestation that you somehow accidentally spread, which we'll get to later.
Little fucks.
Not my fault.
The library is contained up to the 5th floor. it's all contained besides the 5th floor. And below, we have constant fires spreading throughout. We've lost old information that's outdated anyways. But doesn't matter. Anyways, 250th floor, there's a Germa section on research, purely on him and the unfortunate ones that have lost their lives to said research. Anyways, how'd we get on this conversation?
I don't
I
know.
was just she she shows out the little mini menace that's like on the desk. I have no idea what the fuck's going on. I just picked up a cockroach. What I thought was a cockroach.
Oh, right. Yep. Sorry. I forgot. He points down at the mini Marcy and it explodes.
No.
We can't
Honestly,
have
you
it
should do that to the
risk.
big one. You should just do that to the big one.
I'm
She
going to
hol-
return the court case back on in a second.
She holds the
Mhm.
ashes. No, my baby.
I hope you know I cannot have a contaminant inside the courtroom.
That's understandable, I guess.
Anyways, he's slumps back down at his desk. He kind of, you see him move his hand under the desk. All right. The case as the supposed cockroach threat, as it was another biological non-interplanar threat was dealt with. We are going to continue said case. As we were at witness questioning. Oh, I need a drink. I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
Ava raises her Pepsi to Damon.
It's not even in a can. Do you even know what a can is?
It doesn't need to be in a can. Also, what's a can?
You probably don't even have that carbonated. Ugh.
What?
Anyways. So, Anon, please continue. After I kind of lost where we were, it sounds like. No. We were in the middle of asking and just answered, it sounds like, from what I remember. The question of which, when Marcy obtained that said special sigil, since we do not know definitively, I will ask, have you seen Marcy or anything that Marcy has done use other weird forms of magic that is unexplainable to regular magic? Or of the style of space, time, life,
Possibly.
abyssal.
How are you supposed to object to anything when you can just get charges slapped on like anytime?
You kind of like shakes his head because he was spacing out. Objection. I do not believe Ava knows the manner of spatial time and life magic being talked about.
Listen,
The
I
judge is supposed to talk. Damon looks over. Yes, Ava, when an objection is said, only I, the judge, is allowed to talk as the information given passed through the objection cannot be taken.
sorry.
So, I, as the judge, will ask the question to confirm said statement from Q's objection. Ava, do you understand the question being asked, specifically the manner of the magic being spoken of, space, time, and life dilation?
Yes.
Can you please explain them to me in the standard course of, to your knowledge, that the commissary's commission will define them as? To your closest knowledge, as it is understandable that you are an extraplanar person.
Well, it's magic that can bend the laws of reality.
Do you have a further explanation?
Not really.
As I find it that Ava does not know said definitions of time, space, and life dilation, I have found as a judge that this question is not required, as it appears that the question being asked is an answer that neither witnesses can fully, to their full confidence or knowledge, answer correctly. Anand looks very pissed at that. What the hell do you mean?
She nudges Q. Thanks, fucker. Sorry,
Still being recorded.
Sorry, I didn't mean to say fucker. I meant to say cool dude.
Anon, further questions? As we cannot determine whether or not she has actually casted said magic, I guess I will pursue a clearer definition. Has Marcy ever taken a part in an act that would have, let's start with just time dilation, that would inexplicably change the course of a plane's life set path through the fate? Sorry, this is not my most known field. I did not study the strings of fate. That is Q who did so, not me, Judge. Did Marcy take in any act besides the one currently being taken part by your party of ending the loop that is taking place on your plane of Asteria? That's the right plane. It's not Ethereum, right,
Ethereum?
Judge? No, Ethereum's a different plane. Don't worry about that.
Okay.
Right. Sorry, mixed them two up. I'm currently working with somebody else on Ethereum. Asteria, besides the one on Asteria, has any action taken place that was a cause of Marcy change the strings of fate to your knowledge, aka something that, as Ava specifically and Marvroth, both of you have seen the string of fate being changed before your eyes that you would think would not have happened in the timeline that you two originated from.
There's just a look of confusion on Ava's face. I don't think so.
Q stands up again. Objection. Same statement. Damon. Okay. Anon, please continue with other questions. Anon looks flabbergasted. Q. God,
Can I just state what I have seen? What I want to say?
not yet. That's for
No.
later. And because we must have our notes in a very specific way. Anon looks behind him very unprofessionally. And Q, I thought you said you learned them a thing or two about the string. Hey, do you think they would learn? Look at these two. No offense, these two can't really learn. They're
I would like to. Ava shouts from across the room, offended.
not exactly the learning type. Anon looks.
Thanks, we enjoy your company too.
I said no offense. I didn't mean to be hurtful.
Sorry, you're guilty in your case.
Damon kind of pushes his glasses down. Okay, yep. Unprofessional, Anon, but it's a good point. Q, you should have taught them beforehand, but you didn't know. Anyways, please return back to the case at hand. Anon. Okay. Questions. All right.
Magic. Threads of fate.
No, I'm not allowed to ask that anymore.
Okay.
So, Okay. Questions that would relate to crimes against the multiverse. Crimes against the multiverse. As I cannot ask general questions, let's see. Witnesses. Marv, Ava. Have you ever seen have you ever directly seen Marcy's deity?
No.
No.
Crap. I mean, darn.
It's okay, Anand. It's okay. You can say fuck.
You say shit.
Damon looks down at the old people. Please, this is a celestial court. Please do not curse.
All right, dang. Sorry.
Close enough.
Ava whispers under her breath, "The Celestials can suck my dick."
Ava, everything you're saying is being recorded.
I know.
I can see it in front of me.
And I want you to have plausible deniability.
What do you mean, me? Ava?
I don't know.
Okay. Anand,
Whatever.
do you have any other further questions? This case is not professional at all. Anand sits there, kind of with his shoulders kind of slumped, staring deadpan at the ground. Haven't seen the deity. They don't know anything about greater magics. All we got out of them was information we know. I don't know. Okay, one more question, Your Honor, before I rest my side. Witnesses. Has Marcy ever wished mass destruction upon your plane?
No.
Sorta, I guess.
Any
Well,
definitive proof?
Describe.
The statement is very clear as it stands. What I mean, if you wish to be more specific, as I don't think you get my question, is this allowed, Your Honor? Yes. Continue. I don't know why you need to ask that. Just making sure I don't get objected.
I got one.
Does Marcy ever stated that she wishes the plane that you exist on to be gone?
No.
No.
All right. That's my last question. I have no further questions for now. I've accomplished nothing. He kind of looks over to Marcy and Q.
She waves.
Anand goes sits back down. Damon looks at his notes for a second. Now that the claimer has asked their questions, it is my job as the judge to ask further questions that I may think is important to said information. I noticed I must first touch on the first thing relating to the sending journal question from before when it was all messed up. It is stated in the script that has been being written down as we talk that the sending journal has not been touched by an outside source besides the 4 party members, Q and the commissary. The system has marked that as a plausible lie. Can you before I relay the information the system has told me, tell me with full honesty that you do not know that it was indeed anyone else has touched these sending journals at all in any point?
Or
Ava?
Sorry, I'm just trying to think.
Can you confirm that you do not believe, at least?
I don't believe we've let anyone touch it.
He waits a
So-
few seconds as you finish that sentence, staring down at the paper. The system has deemed it that you are telling the truth that you do not believe. So, let me jog your memory as much as the system will allow me to. It appears that 2 other people have touched said sending journal besides the ones that have been listed. May I need to remind you, which is the 4 party members of the group, Q, and the workers of the commissary. One of them has spent only according to the system. I don't get how they get this information. Fucking. That's weird. That's creepy. One spent less than, 2 to 3 days around the 2 of you. The 4 of you, I should specify, as this pertains to the sending journal in full and all parties of members of the party. And one was in contact. That can't be right. With the sending journal for. I don't know how to say that number.
Kestrel? No. The other dude?
I'm going to put this up as a glitch, but I will state it out in course just in case this rings any bells. I doubt it. As the I'm saying this because the information stated in the court case has given us the known associated date with at least the 2 party members here. I'm guessing including Bert, as they are the newest party member according to Q. Since you've all only known each other for 2 months, the system is saying that there's. I'm just gonna. Well, he starts counting. You see him counting with his fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. 10 to the 12,000 days around this paper.
We
None of you are that old, right? None of you are
Oh,
10 to
no.
the 10,000s days old. 12,000, sorry. 12. 10 to the 12th days old. I'm saying it wrong. Numbers are my strong suit.
Marcy starts counting on her fingers how many years she's been old.
I think I might know what that could be referring to.
Oh, please elaborate, Ava.
Might it be referring to the elder dragon that I'm in a contract with?
I don't believe so.
Because I do have a familiar. I'm
The
pretty sure.
plane of Asteria is written down to only exist less than a million or so years.
Ava shrugs. I mean, the person who's been around us for 3 days, that was. I think that's referring to our Dragonborn friend HR. He's
Oh, yeah.
probably went through our stuff while he was sleeping and probably came into contact with it that way.
You see, as you're stating this, he's writing down stuff, and you see Anand across the room pull out a weird tablet-looking thing, and he's pressing things on it.
We're around the if I may speak, Judge. The evil dude?
Evil dude.
You mean
Uh,
Goldbrack?
Koldrak, yeah, we were around Koldrak after we got those sending journals right after we awoke in that desert town, right?
No, we got
Oh.
the sending journals after we fucked with Koldarak, right?
No, I don't think so.
He was also kind of like after hearing this way. What was
we?
it?
Was
Did
it?
I? Q's gonna now pull up his book, and now all three party members of the court
Here-
are now just busy.
Here's how I remember the events of the desert, I will say, arc. We woke up after a month of being knocked out by my defendant.
Oh no. So I'm going. Okay, DM talking. Actually no. Q kind of after mid sentence. Do you want to explain your sentence? I think I know when. I'm looking through the journal.
Okay,
I have it dated on my side. That's an option.
that's an option. Okay.
So it appears that it was written after you guys were attacked by. I gave you this before you guys were attacked by a unicorn, which if I remember right.
Right,
That
which
was
happened during the
Koldrack.
fight with Koldarak.
Yeah, I remember you guys talking about Koldrack, oddly enough, being picked up by the unicorn. I
Also
haven't looked into that
possible.
yet.
It's also possible Koldarak went through it when we were unconscious.
Yeah,
That's also possible.
I was
And
unfortunately stolen by Koldrak.
he was a time he fucks with time, so it's possible he got a hold of it.
Okay. And Anon
Be awkward.
stands up and looks at the group. I have the numbers crunched on how many years that actually is. I did guessing work. Just doing straight 10 to the 12th power days. Of course, I'm guessing your plane runs on a 365-day calendar like the rest, or am I wrong?
I don't know. I'm not from
Q
that.
stands up. It's 412. 412. That's so stupid.
412 years?
412 days a year. How do you guys not know this? This is your own plane.
It's really not.
I don't pay
It's really
attention.
That's
not.
not our.
Do you
I
guys
never went
not?
to school.
Do you guys only pay attention to days of the week?
We kind of just go day by day, man.
We burn the bridges when
Adventures,
we get to
man.
them. Okay, we burn the bridges when we get to them.
I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I did state a calendar date, but I kind of forgot, and I think it's 400 something.
412.
Yeah.
I didn't write it down.
I remember you saying 16 months.
I know 16 months.
Yeah.
But I don't remember how many days in the year because I didn't write it down like a moron.
And there's only 3 seasons. I'm making that up.
There is more than 3 seasons.
No. God, what's his
Wet
name?
fall and dry fall aren't the seasons.
No, Gom
Summer
ate
is
one
a
of the
real thing.
seasons. Gom ate one of the seasons.
What?
You know, Gom.
Who the fuck is that?
That's, a little hellish dog who's actually not little at all. Gom.
If you're talking about a folklore story from your own place, I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, sorry.
Anyways, in Anon, after tapping on the weird tablet thing after a little bit longer, which I need to redo again. I'm not sure why I did it by 365. You know, if I was going to say 400, why is my brain like this? I swear I knew I was going to say 412. My brain got distracted. Bye. All right, so unless Anon stands up, unless any of you are older than the plane itself, being about 2.5 billion years old, which may I remind you, we don't have records that we barely have handfuls of records that old at the commissary.
Q. Looks like Q.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know why there's somebody that old that has contact with it. I haven't noticed it either.
I'm not that old. I don't
I-
think I'm that old.
I wouldn't believe it either if you come from your plane.
I don't know what's going on here. Your judge,
Okay.
are we putting too much time into this
No,
conjecture?
no.
This is important, I assume.
This is important as I, as a judge, say that someone has come into commissary contact with commissary material that is apparently really old. I didn't know, almost way older than the commissary itself at 2.5 billion years. That is very important for us to look into, but as none of you have information, including Q or Anon, to who this may be, we'll look into it later. But I will note down that the sending journal was, you said, a Koldrak.
Yes.
We need a witness list of something. And it appears from what little stories I've heard from Q
Wait,
as he's returned that there's more than one Koldrak. And with time, that with the current state of Asteria, that may be the answer. We just need a definitive answer sooner than later.
I mean, unless we can capture him, I don't know. I mean, I visited my deity.
Your deity, look, your deity has made a contract of desperation, maybe, with the one who started the last planar war. I don't, from our records, that person in question that started the last planar war is not that old. So I doubt your deity is that old.
Well, then I think I don't know. I think this is just irrelevant.
I think it is relevant to the greater case of the commissary. This is how the angels would hold it. I'm sorry.
Is my case going to be extended because of this?
Oh God, no! This is just an important conjecture that we have to file with the agency.
Okay.
The ones that work here. It points at Q and Anand to push forward an important research node that they have to push forwards in high priority. But that's how it works, right? That's how I'm right on my interplanar law there. That's my specialty. But I want to know from the professionals. Can both nod. Can we continue, Your Honor? Yeah. Sorry. Of course. Okay. So, other than that, so it sounds like the other person that was there for you for about 2 to 3 days, an HR.
that was a nickname he uses.
As I know, as we could not get in, Q did not have enough time, as listed in this court case, to attain such witness. Ken
His
writes
name's
down.
Harold Ronald.
Is that truthful, Marcelin?
I mean, you can say it.
The script says you are making
I'm
fun of
joshing
him.
you.
What is a Josh?
It's a very
I
important
don't
thing in
think the
our plane.
question. I don't think the question is what, but rather who.
No.
Okay, this
It's
sounds like it's planar level, your personal plane level sayings, whatever.
yeah. No, it's planar. It's multiplanar level.
I do
Josh
not.
is a very powerful being.
Both of Q and Anon just shake their head. I do not believe you.
You shouldn't.
The script, which is given by the recorded system, takes a while to spit out. Anyways, we will look into this HR. It will not extend the current sayings, as we do not believe this HR as described by Q, Yipple, and Anon to be a magic user, period, let alone a greater magic user. All right. That touches the sending journal. One more question. This one, as I, the judge, deem it, I'm allowed to not ask the witness this directly, as I'm allowed to push this forward. To whom may answer said question? To whom may answer said question? The sigil is suggested to be abyssally modified in a manner. I would wish to whom may answer this to answer the question of, is this information to your knowledge correct? He looks very closely over to Marcy and Q.
Could you repeat the question, Your Honor?
To whom may answer said question? To anyone's knowledge, is the sigil modified specifically? Modified to have abyssal properties?
Not to, I mean, anything that involves sending blood to another plane is abyssal in nature, is it not?
Not so. That's more planar level. That is related to planar travel, which is not directly linked with abyssal, more so a web power. Abyssal. Do you require the definition of an abyssal related power?
It would be in my best interest to know. Yes.
An abyssal related power in this case would allow said sigil to manipulate the course of time in an inexplicable way, space in a mind bending property to which you are unable to understand your surroundings, life to make it so that even the air around you can turn into different objects. He stares very blankly.
Ava
Yes.
sips on her Pepsi.
Yes. He waits. He kind of looks down at his paper. Okay. As you have told the truth, I, as the judge, am now allowed to ask further questions to the person who answered said questions with an affirmation. Marceline, sorry.
Marceline, that's how you say it, dude.
Marceline, sorry.
Yeah.
Professionalism, my bad. Marceline, in what manner of abyssal modification was your sigil modified by you or your deity?
I have not experienced it myself to know.
The system says this is a half-truth. Do you willingly acknowledge that?
Oh, fucking hell. Another cockroach.
Which half of it is the truth?
It's a real cockroach.
Oh. I'm gonna get his ass.
That's a real cockroach. All right. He presses it. He moves his hand beneath the thing.
Red alert.
God.
So glad there's 2 roach sprays in this fucking house. God damn.
Where did you get a roach spray from anyways?
I'm pretty sure that's from the plane before we met her.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, man.
It is. She is not listed as an extraplanar person.
Alright.
Is that only us?
You're making shit up.
You technically aren't extraplanar anyways. Yeah, it looks down at the paper. Are you talking bullshit out of your mouth?
Am I talking bullshit out my mouth?
Wait. Shit, that was from before. Sorry.
Okay, we're on the discussion of...
The system's not actually even going right now, so I can't even really tell. I was looking at the mark where it said Ava was cursing at me. My bad.
Okay, let's continue our discussion.
we'll get to the wherever the hell you got a cockroach killing spray can later. Thank you for dealing with that.
Of course. I'm
Kind of
very like I hate cockroaches.
didn't even know about them until now. Presses the button below. All right. So I reenact this court case. We're getting a little long on this one. Don't you agree, everyone?
Yes, my apologies.
All right. I'm going to, before we get to the final area of second questioning, if there is any to pertain, and then witnesses' self testimonies of actions they may deem crimes against the multiverse. This is lasting so long. Like, holy crap.
Yeah, sorry. I've been informed that it has been tampered in a way that creates more blood, to which its properties I do not know.
Okay. Creates more blood. Properties you do not know. This creation of blood, it's extra blood. Does it just. Do you know, Marceline?
It could be thinned out. It could be a
As
spatial thing.
it is your. As this is part of your description given to you by your deity, sort of, I'm guessing, that you directly deal with giving blood to your deity. Would you
Yes.
think that this blood may, for instance, reuse the body? Does it, for instance, only work on one body, or is it a pool of blood you apply this to?
Could you repeat the question? My apologies.
I'll make it simpler, my bad. When applying this sigil, is it applied to a pool of blood or the modified sigil? Is it applied to a pool of blood or a bleeding body?
It could be either.
Shit. Sorry. Crap. Sorry. This is unfortunate. Okay. He writes down something on his paper.
May
And
I
you
ask
said this
why?
is. Before I answer that, can you confirm you are not the one to modify this sigil?
No. Oh, I can confirm that I'm not the one to modify the sigil.
Thank you. Finishes writing something down. Wait, and then quickly looks back down at his paper, nods his head, puts it back down. Okay. To answer your question to why, and because I'm required to answer said question, the information that you have given me confirms that your deity has the ability to mess with not only time, but maybe also space, suggesting that her powers that are either originating from her or given to her can be extraplanar threat levels if the sigil is used incorrectly or she decides to use it on a specific area herself when given the right circumstances too.
That's not her prerogative.
I'm sorry, but it sounds like.
Neither
Correct me.
is it. The abilities that I've been told are applied to the sigil.
Either way, the magic that you have been given access to through this sigil is abyssal in manner in ways that is not safe for the string of fate and the integrity of the multiverse, specifically the web itself. And one misused improperly by a person who can use such things may lead to either breaking of fate or destruction of parts of the web.
That is not in our interest.
It may not be in your interest, but it is unforeseen consequences that may happen when using such magic.
If there's any way I could prove doubt upon this prefecture, I would like to.
This doubt upon the prefecture that you are so calling would have to be done once we have indicted your deity themselves.
How? That's how.
That will be stated at the end of this case when I give you your sentence.
I want to ask what I've already been given.
I cannot pertain until the end of the case, as there's more information that can be divulged, and that may change. I'm sorry. Just know the current sentence does not directly put you in our arms.
That's good.
All right. With that information,
Actually,
it appears that Agent Q has not done enough research on the plane to determine whether or not the effects given to that are have already taken place. So further research will be done in terms of your deity, as you should know. Kind of looks down at the questions written by Anon for second questioning. Anon, as the claimer, I feel as though you aren't doing much right now. And this case has been moved forward to the Celestial Council's hands directly. And as you are not a person directly in contact with them or related to this case, besides being the one that originally claimed the witnesses and the indicted, you're dismissed from this case. Any further questions will be forwarded on through me, a person a part of the temporary Celestial Council. Anon just stands up, kind of flips the table a little bit. It kind of lifts off the floor. Oh my, your guys, I hate this fucking system. Why do I even bother interacting with? He just walks off, mumbling to himself.
Mad.
No, I worked so hard. I worked 2 straight days getting that information, and it's just he walks just to a door on the other side. Okay. Witnesses, as you do not have a claimer to say, oh,
There goes Bert.
Bert.
I think his computer probably just turned off or
Oh
died.
yeah, probably.
Don't know, I guess.
Anyways,
He was on his phone.
yeah,
Maybe his phone died.
it is 1:30. I totally understand, Marvel, if you're falling asleep.
Yeah, it's like I'm so sorry. I've been trying to like stay awake.
No worry. I know this part is not.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to draw it out.
You're fine.
That's good. That's good. So witnesses, do you have anything further to say before we close this case? Any actions that Marcelin has taken directly that you may think is a crime against the multiverse?
Nothing against you personally, Eva.
And with that, I must remind the
just for
witnesses
that?
that. Can I have a word as the judge?
Yes.
As the judge, I may remind the witnesses that any harm brought upon you by Marcy due to the words and actions you have said at this current case can be used against her at a future case, and aka you may sue Marcy for beating you up for saying these things. If you
What the heck?
sue Marcy through the commissary court. Continue, witnesses.
She performed a ritual on a city.
A city.
Objection.
Yeah.
It was down.
Objection has been heard. Reason.
Irrelevant. There's no evidence to point that it was me. and also just insufficient evidence upon.
I saw the magic
Yeah.
circle, bitch.
The objection is being heard right now, Miss Ava. Q is actively both wings on his face, just head on the desk.
This is biased information. She has actively claimed me to be a ruiner of her life. I would rather not her words be taken into the court's
And
books.
Damon is holding up the piece of paper he's been holding up the whole time, staring at it, reading something. Guys, there is so much the system is trying to work out here that it seems the two of you are saying stuff that is so filled with hate and vitriol that it cannot process whether or not you're telling the truth.
See?
I'm going to reset the system. Give me a second. He puts down the paper. He pushes his chair back and he's going to lean under his desk.
So, Damon, come here often?
You can't do that.
I am 50 times your size or larger, miss. And I mean,
I didn't know you were a lover
federal.
of big men. Eva.
What can I say?
This is sexual harassment. I can sue you.
He can sue you, Eva.
We're already.
I don't.
I'm married.
He's married?
Ava.
That's so fucked up, Eva. Can't
Would you
believe
believe
that.
me? Would you believe me if I said this wasn't the first time this happened?
Oh my.
I would believe you. You've done it to me, and I'm a married woman.
What the hell does that say? Truth or lie? What the? Oh my god. That rune goes there. That rune. No.
It is a mystery.
Q, do you know anything about the system? No, Your Honor. God damn it. Hey, Q.
Thank you.
Are you not a bird?
Hey, okay.
Are you testing the system? Yes. I'm not a bird. God damn it.
I'm not gay.
You can't just shout that out when the system's not working.
I'm trying to test it for you. I'm
You
saying
don't know
something
that
that's
information.
actual. I know that information.
I'm not
I
going to tell if
hate-
it's truth or a lie.
I hate
Okay.
Mossy.
That one is also coming out as false, so I don't know if that's true. Q?
What?
No? Oh no.
Damn, we fucked it up. We fucked it up.
Oh my god.
Clearly, this shows how much Eva's.
Q,
fucked
what's
in
the color of
head.
the sky? Blue.
Is it blue here?
I forgot to specify what color is the plane. What is color of the sky on the planet Lyrian? Blue.
That's
Okay.
very interesting.
I think I got the system working. Now, can I have everyone state their name in the court case given?
Marceline Mortis.
Ava Laskaride.
What's her
Marroth.
name?
Thank you, Marvroth, for using the name given. Lascarade is going to be added to the paper. Say your name again, Ava.
Ava Laskaride.
And I'm Q, as written in the paper. All right, the system seems to be working. Now back to where we were. Something about a town having a sigil around, and I'm going to rule the objection through wanting more information to be divulged before another to deem whether or not it is relevant or not. Continue, Ava.
Right. There was a sigil that was placed around a town when I was inside this massive sigil, I was overcome with strange desires as well as everyone else in the city, and the city just became a bloodbath. Or town, whatever.
Okay. Did you happen to be outside? Do you know when you were starting to be affected by said sigil?
Um, no. I believe I was outside the sigil before it started, and I entered the city after it had already started. At least I think.
Do you think? What do you mean by that?
She just sort of shrugs. Memory's hazy. I'm sorry.
Memories hazy. Marvroth, were you there when this happened?
Yes.
Do you know when you were starting to be affected by the sigil? If the sigil had effect on you in the first place.
Add and start killing.
Do you remember when it started?
Right after
Describe to me the best you can. He's looking down at the paper.
I believe it's
Whether or not you know your actions taken in that day.
Marcy faked her death, or she had faked her death, and I was attacked by guards myself, and then that is when killing or the bloodbath.
Any actions after?
We were mostly fighting our way, get ourselves out of the city or out of the town.
The systems are telling me that these are partially true.
Or probably more things setting it.
Do any of you have any specific memories?
I can testify to that day.
Sure. While we allow the two to think, testify that day as you remember best suit core, starting with after your death was faked and supposedly. Where were you when
I
that
was brought
happened?
I was brought onto a bed by Marvroth and Bert, and whilst there, uh, I got into the bed, then walked outside, silly antics. And when we got outside, it seemed as though the guardsmen who were employed by Koldrak
Not important
against
to the situation.
again no, it is important because during this event I was running for mayor candidacy and Koldrak was running against me. It could be stated that the
That's
it's
stated as
it's
false.
huh?
Stated as false here that Koldrak was the one running against you.
It was a mayoral candidacy against a person, a entity that is associated with Koldrak.
Give me a second here. Okay. Continue.
And they apparently planned for my death to happen that day regardless. So it could be said that the guards who were employed by Koldrak's entity could have instead planned for this to happen if they had not gotten their way.
I'm having a lot of conflicting information on the system itself. on one hand, up until I should state, most of the last things you said were either stated as false or true. To whether or not the information's correctly given to me or whether or not it's not so important to why I'm asking these questions. It more interests me that the system is telling me at first of those few statements were flagged as both true and false. If I remember my time recording and studying throughout the history of interplanar cases, there is one such case where time dilation was heavily used, and the system was giving the same true false statements. As I find important to this case, you may object, Q or RC, that I find it necessary to bring such case to importance when from the point of view of the Celestial Court, saying that the system is currently working and is giving a statement that gives true and false. And the only other time that has abyssal magic related was in course of case of 250,000 years ago to today's date, roughly, that deity cleric accidentally sent a group through a course of events where they constantly had different actions over and over again, but they only remember one set.
I will object. That is speculation.
Speculation, yes, but the system does not lie. As of currently, it does not lie.
It had a malfunction just a few moments ago.
If you require me to check, I believe we can bring other entities and make this case longer, but I believe as the judge, and weirdly enough, the person representing the court, Celestial Court, that I was merely recalibrating because I misunderstood that this was an abyssal magic situation. The system is unable to detect whether or not its statements it is giving is contradicting and will spit both out at the same time. If both are factual statements. Meaning, for the statements that have been given here today, specifically, why I'm bringing it up, Marcy was placed in a bed and got out of it, was both flagged as true and false. Do any of you have any memories of that being the case of either true or false? And or false, I should specify.
Marv, you're the one who put me in the bed.
Remember putting Marcy to bed. Not anything else.
Marcy, do you have any memories of not ever being in the bed? At all. Dig deep.
DM?
Kind of do remember both. Now that you're thinking about it. Yep.
I also remember being on the stage, but I was on the stage most of those days of the week.
All affected party members, to everyone here besides Q, does anybody have any similar instances of remembering what seems like chronologically things happening at the same time, but are very different actions you were taking?
I remember taking part in the slaughter, and I remember not taking part in the slaughter.
Looks down at the paper. Okay. Marvroth? Any input? Any conflicting knowledge you have in your own brain chronologically?
One point happened to him.
happened, as in
I remember he touched the barrier and
I had a barrier.
it I think tore apart his arm. I knew it maimed him. I remember it maiming him.
Marvroth, did you witness this?
Yeah, I don't think it.
Okay. As the judge and this person representing the Celestial Court, I must make a ruling that that sigil that was whether or not placed by or not by Marcy around the town was indeed one that manipulated either time and or space through dilation means. And the four of you, including Bert, are going to require a new, fresh. You're going to require a somewhat mind reset to clear up your mind. Do not worry, for Marvroth and Ava, you've already experienced this once. All right. Marcy, one last question. I think this is a close case now. Did you place that sigil yourself, and was that your power that you were enticing, or your emissaries?
No comment.
You must answer this question.
I walked around this town in a circle after I had been stabbed by Bert the night of the death fakening. The power that I or that was drawn from that sigil was not something that had ever occurred before, nor has it happened on that scale since. What has been testified as uh, what a bloodbath, people being enraged at each other. None of that has occurred ever, and it could be via the tampering of an outside party.
Hugh is going to look very awkwardly at the floor. And Damon's going to look over. Q, since you are the defendant, you do not have to disclose any information that is very obvious. If you have something to say, you do not have to disclose it, as you are legally not required to. And I will say, for the sake of letting you know, for the sake of the defendant, that your client all said was true in a way. It is stated here in the system that the statement is not a partial truth, but a unknowing half truth. Meaning that either you do not. Since that is the case, since I once again had to ask one last question, sorry. Are you answering? Was that answer either manipulated by word for yourself and the sake of yourself, or was that to your best ability in full honesty?
The best ability.
And honesty?
No.
Okay. That is okay. To the best of your abilities, the matter apart, I care more in this situation. And honesty. Look, that what you did for which I'm going to infer is not going to change your sentence. What I'm saying will not change it or change my mind on the sentencing. What you did sounds like, in my theory, and is not what the court will see it as, sounds like what you did is you drew a sigil and your deity just so happened to modify it. Unknowingly you did so, but was told maybe by your deity that it was going to happen. But since it was not your power, like I said, it will not change your sentence. I'm going to close this case with the announcement that we are going to release a warrant and change the current status of Marcy's deity. The warrant is for the arrest or the arrest of the deity on causes of not only having a contract out of desperation.
I cannot accept this.
This is not your case anymore. The case is now moved on from you, and your sentencing will be given to you momentarily.
She doesn't deserve this. She does not deserve
And
any sort of sentencing that requires that much.
Marceline, I am trying to tell you. Once I am done telling you what the warrant is for and the charges put against her, I will tell you why the way I'm putting it matters. After I give you the sentencing also, as I need to finish this case. Please. Next time, open up with an objection also. The warrant released for Marcy's deity, as we do not have another name, is charges for working with or contracted to working in relations with the one who started the last planar war out of desperation and causing possible damage to the strings of fate of Asteria and possible recklessness against the web. And the sentence given to Marceline Mortis, due to the court case of being charged only with being contracted to blood deity and all other charges previously pushed upon her being pushed onto her deity, the sentence is helping the commissary make a file, not working against, just making a file of your deity and more information. You don't have to make this secretly either. That is a sentence. You are to work with the commissary, building a case. Just a file, not a case. I messed up on my words. A file on your deity, what she does, what she's done, what she's doing. You do not have to incriminate her with said thing, but you are required by the commissary and will be enforced by Q.
Why do you want me to do that? Why do you...
And until the file is completed to full confidence of the court, you'll have this sentence and be closely monitored by Q until then.
She looks cross.
Witnesses, you may step down from the stand. You're free to return to the cell or listen, as this case is now closed. And he reaches under the desk. The system's off.
Why do you care? Don't you hate the system as well?
I hate the system of the court, the Celestial Court specifically. But I find it necessary also, as most judges and agents can attest to, that it's important that we keep those that can cause damage to the web
You used to
And
be a person that made contracts as well. Do you not understand the fucking difficulty as well? I don't know
I
if you were
do
under the same
understand.
circumstances as her, but could
I
you not?
was very much so, and I do not like being told that I'm a lesser person for doing so. I My sentencing was not to give information on the one who started the last planar war. My sentencing was to serve the commissary for the rest of my life. I got to choose what I did. To my knowledge, your deity may have it better than me.
What's an arrest mean?
An arrest, instead of an indictment, is two different levels of things. We, to give you an idea, have arrested Ava. Your deity is probably going to not be able, depending on the sentencing. And as I was working with the one who started the last planar war through greed, mind you, your deity is doing out of desperation, meaning that she most likely will not have to stay with the commissary and get to roam free after helping us out with preventing. I cannot disclose any further, actually. That is the work of the agency and the agents of the commissary, not for you to know. Trust me when I say this, your deity is not going to be killed. The worst thing that's going to happen to her is most likely, from my honest opinion as a judge, she most likely will just spend a couple thousand years working for the commissary at max.
She.
Hey,
Well,
maybe your deity will get to serve muffins for a few thousand years.
Should be serving in hell for all I care for, Eva.
Well, Q, it looks like you got your plate full. I'll leave you to your friends here. I have paper to fill out, and you have person to accommodate to their new living place and debriefing on what Marcy here will be doing. Kind of looks down as he walks back. He kind of like seemingly grows larger against the wall as he walks back. He walks back to the stand. Marcy, from what I know, I still have connections to my deities. My, not my deities. Sorry. Freudian slip. I, those who worked for me still get to work for me. Whatever you want to call yourselves. Warlocks, worshippers, or whatever. Your connection will most likely not be severed. If that matters. Kind of, then he continues to walk off. You see he kind of stretches out against the wall and disappears into it shortly after. Four of you kind of sit there in the room, the empty courtroom. I think that's where we can end the session.
Yeah.